Good morning, all. Thank you for World Petroleum Technology Congress 2022 for giving me this opportunity to put forth my views on digital transformation and exploration of oil and gas. So I'll directly come to the subjects. So basically, the digital transformation is the integration of the digital technology and the business model. Through the applications like IoTs, Internet of Things, cloud connections, artificial intelligence, and so on, to create the value for the companies. And if you know that the digital transformation has been taking place in some of the sectors very rapidly, like information and communication technology, and then media, professional services, and in all the sectors. We are little behind, exploration, little behind compared to these sectors. And the last 2.5 decades, if you look at the oil exploration, digital transformation in oil exploration has been taken place, especially to the acquisition, processing, and interpretation. And there are lot of opportunity for the digital transformation in drilling the wells, especially in fault thrust belts and deep water, ultra deep waters. So how to reduce the cost? How these are the opportunities. So oil and gas industry is undergoing the fundamental digitization era to unlock more energy at lower cost and increasing the sector's efficiency. So digital transformation in oil and gas, if you look at today, we are working in collaborations with the companies, with the JV partners, with the regulators, service providers. So data sharing is one of the important aspects and assessment of the data. How to make the process improvements, that is also important. And second point is action on immediate insight. That's how the data is secure, how to safety of the data, drive the process improvements, and leveraging internal data domain expertise. So integrate and share the integrate data, that is one important, and leverage analytics to granular insight. So at micro levels, how we can, see the data, how we can evaluate it at the basic levels. Then finally, automatic process to optimize the efficiency, focus on the risk management, and analyze the business needs of the company. So this is all about the digital transformation. Just I'll take you little 50 years back, when the seismic data, we have only 2D seismic data. This was around 12-fold seismic data, we call it, to record. And then it went up to the 24 folds and 48 folds, so on. And then if you look at that point of time, the processing of this 2D data was, that once we submit the job to the processing, and we had to wait for 3 to 4 days. And even there was no interaction, no interactive processing. And once we get the output after 3-4 days, sometimes job get abandoned, and sometimes we get the output. So there is a 360-degree phase change when the 3D data comes in picture. So there are 3D data, and that we have a closed wind to imaging the subsurface, and then there is a telemetry systems comes in place where the data recorded by the sensors and converted in the field itself and digitized and transmitted to the recording instrument. And when the 3D data came in, then the workstation also, that in parallel we have a workstation where we could, that interpret the data in the workstation, in a multiple lines, multiple channels. And then, if you, these are the some pictures, if you look at that processing, just we get the paper prints where the geophysicists or geoscientists, engineers, they used to interpret data on the paper section. Then, that after interpretation, this goes to the drawing section. Then the draftsman will prepare the map and will give the location. But today is the processing and the interpretation is a very interactive, very time saving, and immediately we can get the, that output, and it is, that we can mitigate the risk, subsurface risk. So that is what I believe, that the digital transformation has been taken place in seismic API, quite good. But however, if you go to the next level, digital technology transformation and exploration oil and gas. So once we that have this 3D data, then if you look at the traditional workflow for this interpretation, it takes around 4 to 6 months. So it takes that petrophysical model, GNG interpretation, structurals and stratigraphic models, then static and finally dynamic models. It takes 4 to 6 months. But today, if there is automatic workflow for the reservoir modelings, it takes hardly less than 1 month, and with the multiple realization. So my point is that up to this level, we have a lot of digitalization and a lot of attributes. We have a plugins, lot of things to optimize the location, to mitigate the risk. Yes, there is a lot of scope for further improvements since it's an evolving process. When we come to the drilling exploration well, there I believe that there is a lot of opportunity for the digitalization or digital transformation technology to reduce the cost, especially in a that place where the like fault thrust belt, where the logistically difficult areas and the deep waters and ultra deep waters. So that is a very expensive when we go for the well drilling, and now it is for all the stakeholders to think of that, how this cost can be reduced, and we explore more and more. Because when we talk about the exploration, it's a very important component of the oil and gas. Without exploration, we cannot add or accrete any reserves, and it's difficult to even enhance the production. Simply, that when we are importing around more than 80% of oil, and our domestic production is hardly 20% or less. So to bridge this gap, that exploration, more exploration is important, and especially where these explorations are not happening, these areas are important, and where the digitalization can improve and reduce the cost, so that more exploration can happen. That is the point I just want to make. So value unlock from the digital transformation in oil and gas. In exploration, this is available in public domains. I taken from the reports. 50% reduction in data interpretation and time and cost. That is a one. Field development, almost 70% reduction in feed, engineering hours and evacuation concept. Well design and drilling, almost 30% faster well delivery and more productive wells. And operation and maintenance, 5% production enhancements and around 30% reduction in O&M cost. And digital solutions, how we can look at this in exploration. Faster and accurate interpretation with the machine learning and new technology. So that is one for the exploration. Field development plan, we can integrate strategic and dynamic modeling and facilities optimization for the new by using the new technology. well design and drilling, improve well designs using the data analytics.
2 more minutes, please.
Okay. And optimize the productions with the time monitorings, real-time monitorings. Okay. So this is the expert says. These slides are taken from the public domain. Digital technologies can help the oil and gas industry cut capital expenditure by 20% and improve global cash flow to the tune of $300 billion by 2025. This is a McKinsey Digital. Our benefits are from the streaming, engineering and design process with the data-centric platform to enabling the real 360-degree or view of operations across the value chain, enabling predictive operations and maintenance. Digital technologies have proved their potential in the oil and gas sectors. Leading players have used digitalization to cut the cost, boost output, and improve the efficiency. For the oil and gas industry, the potential benefits of going digital are cost savings, safer operations, increased productivities, weather forecast, and also remain competitive amidst the rising demand of the alternative environmental friendly energy source that can be that can be doing by using this technology, carbon captures, reduce the emission, so oil and gas can stay there. Or I'll just skip these challenges, but there are challenges, may not be for the bigger companies, but major challenges are the lack of feedback loops, lack of training, retrainings, and shortage of skilled labors. Another challenge is the large number of traditional processes need to be reevaluated, digitized, and require huge amounts of time and manpower, technology factors. For the application of new technology, biggest challenge is the limited budget and limited expertise. Unpredictable fluctuation in oil and gas prices, budget for the technology application becomes a challenge. Summary, the last slides. So digital transformation is a large-scale business shift. Digital transformation is driven by a large database of oil and gas field operations and is being used and an advanced management tool. This opportunity is the strategic importance because it is targeted to improve the efficiency of operations and management process. Future forecast management reports such as asset monitoring, production performance, troubleshootings, and production optimizations are performed accurately and promptly on both investors and stakeholders. The digital transformation process is also a prerequisite for the research projects, developments, and future action plan. Time and cost savings are most important aspects of the digital transformation, exploration of oil and gas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gariya.